This is Dr. Saad in front of you, and today my topic is the sixth hallmark of the cancer, that is the angiogenesis. So first of all, what this angiogenesis means, as its name indicates, angio means blood vessels and genesis means formation. So this angiogenesis is the formation of the new blood vessels. So this is also the hallmark of the cancer. Now we all know that cancer cells, as they grow, so those cancer cells, they also need oxygen supply, they also need nutrients, and they also need certain growth factors for their growth. So that's why the cancer cells, they carry out the process of angiogenesis in order to get the nutrient supply and the oxygen supply. So here in the cancer cells, there is a process that is basically, it is angiogenesis, but it is known as the neoangiogenesis. Neoangiogenesis means the formation of the new blood vessels from the pre-existing blood vessels. Clear? Formation of the new blood vessels from the pre-existing blood vessels or the capillaries by the process of sprouting. Clear? So now I told you that basically the angiogenesis function is two: in order to supply the oxygen nutrient supply, and in order to carry out the growth of the cancer cells and produce certain growth factors that carry out the growth of the cancer cells. Now important thing here to be discussed, that these blood vessels, are they similar to the normal blood vessels or they are different? What is the difference between the cancer, the angiogenesis in the cancer and the normal angiogenesis? So the angiogenesis in the cancer cells, their blood vessels has the characteristics that they are leaky, they are dilated, and they have the haphazard, you can say, pattern of the connection. They have haphazard connections. Clear? So these blood vessels, they are leaky as well as they are dilated. Clear? And they have the haphazard patterns of the connections. Now in the cancer cells, when this angiogenesis occur, means what is the process? Normally what happens, that there is a balance between the angiogenesis as well as the anti-angiogenic factors. Means the angiogenic factors and anti-angiogenic factors, they are both are balanced to each other. But what happens, that whenever there is the angiogenic switch, what is angiogenic switch? Angiogenic switch is when there is increased production of the angiogenic factors and decreased production of the anti-angiogenic factors. This is called as the angiogenic switch. So in the tumor cells, basically this angiogenic switch occurs. What? This is angiogenic switch. I told you what this means, that angiogenic factors, they are increased, means those factors that promotes the formation of blood vessels, they are increased, and those factors that decreases the means formation of new blood vessels, they are decreased. Those factors, they are decreased. Now basically in the after the angiogenic switch, that why this angiogenic switch occur, means why the angiogenic factors, they are increased. Basically angiogenic factors, they are increased because there are certain angiogenic factors that are produced by the stromal cells. They are also produced by the inflammatory cells and by the tumor cells themselves also. Means these three cells, they produce the angiogenic factors, and when they produce angiogenic factors, so obviously the angiogenic factors will be increased and they will be start promoting the angiogenesis. Now one thing here, after this we will be discussing the factors influencing the balance between angiogenic and anti-angiogenic factors. Factors, you can say, influencing balance between angiogenic and anti-angiogenic, you can say angiogenesis or anti-angiogenesis. Clear? So what are those factors? First of all, what is the first factor? First factor is decreased oxygen. Whenever there is decreased oxygen, it means that hypoxia will occur. Obviously hypoxia will occur in the cell, and when hypoxia will occur, so this hypoxia, it stabilizes. This is, for example, your hypoxia. This hypoxia, it stabilizes the This is a transcriptional factor, that is HIF alpha, that is called as the hypoxia inducible factor alpha. This is stabilized by the hypoxia. Basically, this factor, this is a transcriptional factor that is responsible for producing certain growth factors that are responsible for the angiogenesis, like this produces or this promotes the vascular endothelial growth factors and certain other growth factors that promotes the growth of blood vessels. So this factor, it stabilizes, it becomes stabilized or it becomes activated, you can say, after the hypoxia, in the hypoxic condition. And basically normally what happens, that this factor is negatively regulated by a gene that is called as the VHL gene. This is the tumor suppressor gene, von Hippel-Lindau. Clear? So no need to remember its full form, just remember that this is a gene that is the negative regulator of this transcriptional factor. So what happens, that if there is a loss of function mutation of this gene, then this hypoxia inducible factor will be activated and this will be not hydroxylated. Normally what happens, that this is hydroxylated, but in the hypoxic condition, the hydroxylation of the HIF alpha, hypoxia inducible factor alpha, is not hydroxylated. Clear? Due to which what happens, that this will be promoting your increasing the angiogenesis. So one is the factor, that is hypoxia or decreased oxygen. Second factor is the loss of function mutation in tumor suppressor genes. I already told you we have studied tumor suppressor gene, that was TP53. So normally what happens, that P53 is a protein, TP53 is a gene, and this protein basically is anti-angiogenic normally. In the normal condition, P53 is anti-angiogenic, means it stops the angiogenesis. Clear? So if this P53 is lost, its function is lost, so what will be there? There will be angiogenesis will be promoted. Clear? So what happens, that in this way the loss of function mutation in the tumor suppressor gene, that is the P53 gene, so if the loss of function occur in that gene, the angiogenesis will be promoted. So here example is P53, TP53 gene, and P53 is the protein. Then very easy, gain of function mutation in growth promoter gene. We have already discussed these all in detail in our previous lecture, that gain of function mutation growth promoters, like all the RAS pathway, clear, MAPK, RAS and all that we have studied. So the gain of function in those growth promoter genes, obviously they will be carrying out the growth, and the growth means they will also carry out the growth of the blood vessels. So that's why if there is the gain of function mutation in growth promoters, this will be also increasing the angiogenesis, means formation of blood vessels. So three factors influencing the balance between angiogenic and anti-angiogenesis, that is decreased oxygen, hypoxia occur, stabilizes this factor, transcriptional factor, and this will be increasing angiogenesis. Then loss of function mutation in tumor suppressor genes, it will also increase the angiogenesis, and the gain of function mutation in the growth promoter gene also increase the angiogenesis. So this was a very easy hallmark, that was the angiogenesis. And if you have any confusion, any query, you can ask in the comment section. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.